Hey pilots, welcome to another exciting episode of War Robots Domination, a series of helpful gameplay tutorials designed to help highlight the tactics and strategies that I use to help tip the scales in my favorite game, War Robots. Each episode will feature a handful of battles along with helpful commentary that'll provide insight as to what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. I'm your host, Gotchure Beacons, and I've been playing this awesome game for a few years now, and I've learned a few tricks along the way that I'd love to share with y'all. You'll notice that although my hangar is fairly basic and at lower levels, I've been able to climb it up to Expert League. So I believe that you'll find my tactics will help you do more with less, which can be very helpful with today's economy in the game. I should also mention that this is my second account, so don't let my career profile stats fool you. This is actually my baby account. But it sends a great message to pilots who feel they need to chase the current meta in order to be competitive in battle. Because you don't. Wise gameplay can usually overcome any fancy gimmick. A death button is a great example. It can still melt just about any build, and its heritage stems all the way back to nearly the beginning of the game. It's all about knowing when to use it and how to use it. So, without further ado, I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy today's episodes while I walk you through my gameplay tactics and share with you my mindset in battle. I hope you find it entertaining, helpful, and fun to watch. I think you will. Let's start by introducing my hangar. We got frickin' Frack, my Death Button Raven, and my Russian Death Button Raven. Then we got the General, my beautiful Trident Fury. And then we got a new guy, he's Reaper. Reaper is my Avenger Bulwark. And then we got Buzzkill, my Spark Scorch Mender. The weapons are all at level 9, and the bots are all at level 6. I call this episode Trident Power to celebrate my new guy, the Trident Fury. Enjoy my friends in the background and status as they play their awesome song, November. Now, you may not know this, but the Tri-Fury was at one time the king of the hill. He was the one to beat. These guys were the biggest bot on the planet just a short time ago. And then they got a nerf. At the same time, a few other Ansel shields got buffs. And next thing you know, the Tri-Fury was really kind of inconsequential, and I had to change my Tridents out for Zeus's. And then my beautiful Zeus Fury was awesome. But the Tridents recently got a buff, and this episode is going to show you what the true Trident Fury can really do. It's important that you understand if you're going to have a Trident Fury, you got to know how to work a few things. Number one, their splash is amazing. The splash will really reach around corners. So if you got a guy like that guy hiding around a corner, you can pick him away even though you don't have line of sight. That is the one big advantage of the Trident that you've got to learn how to use if you're going to run a Trident on a weapon or on your bot. So I see a lot of good uses on the Carnages with the Tridents. I just like my Fury because 3 is better than 2. And I know how to hide my Fury in plain sight, so it works really good for me. But the Tridents can do an amazing amount of damage. And now with the recent buff, they will continually reload as you fire. Kind of like an Orkin or kind of like a Talumba. They'll kind of keep firing. Not as quickly, but you can kind of eke out a few more shots if you're going to have a prey, an enemy that's just sitting there. Go ahead and chip away at him. Or if you want to stop and reload, that's fine too. Obviously, reloading allows you to get a lot more bang for the buck. But if someone's sitting there like that guy, I'm just going to keep chipping away at him. And, to help support my team. Now, from this spot here, this is where I take my Fury, and it doesn't change whether it's a Zeus or whether it's with the Tridents. Now, the one thing nice about the Tridents is, again, that splash. Usually, I have to have line of sight with my the Zeus's, and you have to wait for someone to come out. But now watch this guy. He's going to park right there. I'm going to start chipping away at him even before he gets there. If you can anticipate where your opponent's going to run to, you can still use the Trident splash to catch them as they're coming in. So you got a 600-meter range on a Trident. But with the splash, you kind of have a little more than that. So you can reach beyond your range with the splash, and you can reach around corners. So it really is an amazing weapon to use. And with this, the way I'm using it right now, hey, if I ain't losing, I ain't moving, right? So I'm going to kind of keep doing what I can to support my team. If I need to get out of this thing, I will. But right now, center is, as you know, on Carrier, center is the beacon of contention. And as long as you're going back and forth fairly evenly with your team, there's no reason to get out and get crazy. Now, if I find that we are really falling behind, I'll hop out of this thing. But right now, this Trident Fury is not only splashing up the reds like crazy right now, it's giving my team the ability to kind of get in close. Every once in a while, they'll push. But the Fury or the Tridents are a really good way of kind of keeping them at bay, chipping them down. And the nice thing about the splash is you're not just hitting your target, but you're hitting the reds that are standing nearby, because that splash is affecting anyone standing nearby. So again, this is a very powerful build, and if you are running a Fury and you haven't thought about using the Tridents, I would recommend you do it. Another nice thing about the Tridents is that the developers had made purchasing them not so bad, and also it's important to know that leveling them up is actually, they've done a special thing, so leveling them up is not very expensive, and it goes fairly quickly, so it's a great build. And look at that, it helped my team to win. And let's see where we stood at the end here. We're gonna take a look at today's pilots of the battle, and yep, I scored up high there with a lot of kills and good damage, better than the rest of my mates. Now, it looks like most of my mates were at the diamond level. There was an expert in there. So with my league rank, I'm at expert 2, and it means that I'm going to be up against diamonds and golds, as well as experts and masters and even champs. It really just depends on what matchmaking decides to do. I'm kind of in that tweener kind of league. But anyway, hey, great game for everyone. I hope you see your name up in lights. Hope you see your name on either side. It's always kind of fun to see your name in the video. I hope you learned a lot about the Tridents today. If you see your name, thanks for the game. I had a great time. I hope you did too. On this episode, I'm going to call it Brutal Million. Don't read too much into that title, or you're going to spoil the ending. Enjoy my friends in the background and status as they play their awesome song, Theta. So I'm going to open up the battle with my general, my Trident Fury. 600 meters on those Tridents. The splash allows them to get around corners. Trident Fury's a great build for anyone considering what to put on their Fury. I had my Zeus's on there for a long time, as you all know, but I'm gone with the Tridents now. I'll probably leave them on there for a while. Trident Furies used to be the big man on campus. Then they got kind of a nerf. Now with the recent buff, they're back in their splendor. The splash really does a great amount of damage, and you can use that around corners. You can get guys that are hiding like that guy there, and you're going to see this Trident really shine here, more so than the Zeus, because the Zeus requires line of sight, but the Tridents have a great extension of splash. So if you see someone nearby a structure hiding slightly behind it, you can still splash them up and get some damage. Where they don't really do well is against an Ansel shield. So if you're going to go against a bot with an Ansel shield, you should be best doing it when you're double teaming. So it's like several people shooting at an Ansel at one time, then your combined firepower will take down the shield and will then take out the bot, like that one there. So there you go. So kind of time your shots on an Ansel shield if you're going to use your Furies or your Tridents that way. But yeah, so we're up 3 beacons to 2 right now, but there's no one with me. I'm kind of by myself. Normally, on Castle, you kind of split it up. 3 go right, 3 go left kind of a thing, and 3 go up to the upper platform there and kind of guard the upper beacon, and maybe if they have a chance, go across and get to the red spawn beacon. But the other 3 need to kind of be over here to the left and kind of help manage not only our beacon, but that bridge. That bridge is really the one, that lower bridge is the one that's kind of easy to kind of get, and whoever can kind of get that one and keep it red for the longest is usually the one that's going to win. Now, sometimes you use it to spread the field, but it doesn't seem like my team is kind of playing along with that strategy. And, you never know. I'm an expert too, and sometimes that means I'm with diamonds who don't use very good strategy. Sometimes it means I'm with big guys that for whatever reason just don't have strategy figured out. When you're playing solo like this, it's really kind of hit and miss on who you're going to be teamed up with and their game style. And being an expert doesn't mean you're really good. It just means that you've played enough to win enough to get your honor levels up, But sometimes even the best pilots don't have a lot of strategy. They just have leveled up bots, but they don't use good strategy, and that's too bad. But it looks like we have really not too many people going to the left there, and it looks like I'm not even sure who's going to the right up there, because they're not really putting a lot of pressure up to the right. So it's too bad, but I'm doing the best that I can. This is Bulwark, my new guy, Ripper. I earned him with grinding. I didn't spend any money on this guy. I just did my workshop points, put silver into it, and built myself a Bulwark. There's a great bots. You can use the Ansel shield. You can recharge the Ansel shield. He's got a front physical shield. In the right spots, he can do really, really good. Right now, I'm kind of feeling like I'm running by myself. I don't know where the rest of my team is at. Not a lot of guys up here, and it looks like we're down to 3 bots already. And I really don't know, because it seemed like I was having a pretty good battle. And usually I'm having a good battle, everyone's having similar battles, and the team does really, really good. But right now, it doesn't look like that happened. So I'm down to my last bot, Mender. He's my Spark Scourge Mender. This is Buzzkill. He buzzes and then he kills you, and he does a really good job of that. The Spark Scourges are really a pretty powerful weapon up front, but when you're double teamed and triple teamed like I am, there's not much I can really do about it. I don't know where the rest of my team is at. It doesn't look like we really put up much of a fight today. I'm having a pretty good battle myself. But you know what? It takes a whole team to win, not just one guy. I can't all do it by myself. I'll get my little Buzzkill up here and see how much more he can do, and do his best. But I'm looking up at the beacon bar. I'm looking up at what we're doing, and I don't see this going very far here. And that's really too bad. I think we probably could have won if the rest of the guys would have pulled their weight, but that's okay, guys. Hey, you can't win them all, but I did a pretty good job. Looks like I still got some ranking points up. Let's look at today's pilots. Looks like we got Expert on my team in my same league, Expert 2 there. There's another Expert 3. Here's another Expert 2, all pretty balanced experts. There's an Expert 1. And let's look at the other side. We got Expert 2 and another Expert 2 and an Expert 1. I think they just played a smarter battle. They split it up really, really good. And that's the name of the game. You really got to spread the field and work in all the directions, and that's the way you're going to win the game, and they did a better job. Hey, if you see your name, thanks for the game. I had a good time, and that's it for this episode. Well, friends, that just about wraps it up for another episode. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed what you saw and were able to take something you learned and use it in battle. I add content to my YouTube channel almost daily, so please stop by when you're able and check out the fresh new material. Or just click on an old episode and maybe catch another tip that'll help you up your game. If you like what you see, please tap on the red subscription button and then tap the bell to be notified when new episodes are released. It would also be helpful if you could make a comment about the video, whether it's an example of how the episode helped you, or maybe additional advice to help elaborate on the tactics I shared, or even constructive comments that'll help clarify something I might have missed. It's all good and greatly appreciated. Finally, this game is full of challenges and can create frustration for some who are simply trying to have fun with this awesome game. My goal is to provide you all with helpful information and help reduce the frustration and increase the fun. So, if you feel these videos are helping you, please share them with a friend, someone who you think might benefit from them. Well, that's about it for today, guys. As always, keep them blue out there, and I hope to see you on the battlefield. Make sure you're having fun, though, because if you're not, you're doing it wrong. I love you all for your support. Play well. Peace out.